Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one of the most dramatic and shocking developments in the ongoing war. Ukraine has just struck Moscow hard, and for the first time, it seems that Vladimir Putin is losing control of his own skies. What was once thought impossible is now happening right above Russia's capital, as Ukrainian drones and long-range weapons reach deep into the heart of Russian territory, exposing massive weaknesses in Russia's air defense system and shaking the Kremlin's sense of security. In recent days, Ukrainian forces have launched some of their most daring and sophisticated attacks yet. Explosions were reported across Moscow and nearby regions, with several key military and industrial facilities hit. Russian air defenses scrambled to intercept dozens of drones, but many made it through, striking symbolic and strategic targets. Videos from residents in Moscow show bright flashes lighting up the night sky, followed by smoke rising from what appeared to be military sites and oil depots. For ordinary Russians, this was an unthinkable scene, war coming to their own doorstep. What makes this even more extraordinary is that Ukraine is operating under immense pressure. Despite Russia's massive military buildup, Ukraine has managed to find new ways to strike back. Western intelligence sources confirm that Kyiv is increasingly using domestically built drones and long-range systems to penetrate Russian defenses. These drones are cheap, fast, and effective, and they're sending a clear message. Nowhere in Russia is truly safe anymore. For years, Moscow's propaganda machine claimed that its air defense systems were among the most advanced in the world. The S-400, S-300, and Panzer systems were often portrayed as unbeatable. But now the reality is very different. Ukraine has found cracks in those defenses, and the results are humiliating for the Kremlin. Several explosions occurred just miles from Putin's own residence, and reports suggest that even Russian military bases near Moscow are under constant alert. The psychological impact of these strikes is huge. They're not just damaging infrastructure, they're shattering the illusion of Russian invincibility. Inside Russia, panic and confusion are spreading. Social media is flooded with footage of drones buzzing over Moscow's skyline, while authorities rush to assure citizens that everything is under control. But clearly it isn't. Each successful Ukrainian strike deep inside Russia undermines Putin's authority and exposes his inability to protect his own capital. The Russian people were told this war was being fought far away. But now, the sound of explosions can be heard from their own neighborhoods. At the same time, Ukraine's message is clear. This is payback. After months of relentless Russian missile and drone attacks on Ukrainian cities, killing civilians, destroying energy infrastructure, and trying to break morale, Kyiv is showing that it too can hit back. This is strategic warfare on a new level. Ukraine isn't just defending itself anymore. It's bringing the war home to Russia. The strikes are calculated, designed to target military and logistical centers that support the Russian war effort. Putin now faces one of the toughest moments of his leadership. His aura of control and power is fading. Even within his own government, there are signs of frustration. Russian military bloggers, many of whom are fiercely patriotic, are openly criticizing the Ministry of Defense. They're demanding answers about how Ukrainian drones can travel hundreds of kilometers into Russian airspace undetected. Some are even calling for resignations. This internal pressure is something Putin has rarely faced before, not just from foreign enemies, but from his own supporters. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, morale is rising. Every successful strike inside Russia boosts the confidence of soldiers and civilians alike. It's a powerful symbol that their resistance is working, that their enemy is not untouchable. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has made it clear that as long as Russia continues its attacks on Ukrainian cities, Kyiv will respond in kind. His leadership has been relentless, rallying not just the Ukrainian people, but also the international community, to keep supporting Ukraine's fight for survival. The Western response has been cautious, but supportive. While the United States and European allies insist they are not encouraging attacks inside Russia, they also acknowledge Ukraine's right to defend itself. Many analysts see these strikes as a sign of Kyiv's growing military sophistication and independence. The fact that Ukraine is producing many of its long-range drones domestically means it is less reliant on Western supply chains. This gives Kiev more freedom to act strategically and unpredictably, something that clearly terrifies Moscow. The strikes on Moscow are more than just tactical operations. They are deeply symbolic. For a leader like Putin, whose image depends on strength and control, seeing his capital under attack is a personal humiliation. Every explosion, every video of a drone flying over Moscow chips away at the image of the all-powerful Russian state. It also sends a powerful message to Russians who are still in denial about the war. This conflict is real, and it's no longer confined to Ukraine. But make no mistake, this new phase of the war is extremely dangerous. As Ukraine expands its reach, Russia may respond with even greater ferocity. The Kremlin has already hinted at retaliatory strikes, and some fear that Putin could escalate further to save face. Yet even that won't erase the damage done. The illusion of absolute control over Russian territory is broken, and rebuilding that confidence will be difficult. International observers say this is one of the clearest signs yet that Russia's military is overstretched. Between defending occupied territories, maintaining massive front lines, and now protecting its own capital, Russia is running out of resources. Air defense systems that were once deployed to Ukraine are being pulled back to guard Moscow, leaving frontline troops more vulnerable. It's a strategic dilemma for Putin. Defend the homeland or hold the territory he's already seized. Either choice comes with a heavy price. For Ukrainians, the strikes on Moscow are a statement of resilience. They are proving to the world that despite being outgunned and outnumbered, they can still take the fight to their aggressor. It's a moment of defiance, of saying we will not stop until our skies are free. And that message is echoing across the world. Every new Ukrainian drone over Moscow is not just a military act. It's a symbol of how the balance of this war is shifting. It shows that technology, determination, and creativity can sometimes overcome sheer size and numbers. It shows that Putin's narrative of dominance is crumbling. And most importantly, it shows that Ukraine's fight is far from over. In fact, it's entering a new and potentially decisive stage. As the explosions echo over Moscow, Putin faces a reality he never wanted to admit. He is no longer in full control of his own skies. The very system he built to project fear and power is now being turned against him. Ukraine has forced the Kremlin onto the defensive, not just on the battlefield, but in the heart of its own capital. And that more than any single strike may be the turning point in this war. Because when the people of Moscow can see and feel the war for themselves, when they realize their leader cannot protect them, the myth of invincibility that has sustained Putin for decades begins to collapse. Ukraine has shown that even the most powerful can be made vulnerable, and that the fight for freedom, no matter how long or difficult, can reach even the darkest corners of power. This is not just about missiles or drones, it's about momentum, courage, and belief. Ukraine's latest strikes have rewritten the rules of this war, and as Putin struggles to regain control, one thing is becoming clearer every day. The skies over Moscow no longer belong solely to Russia. They are now part of the battlefield, and that changes everything.